Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. So today's video going to be talking about possible price increases with ASIC miners. We're going to look at one specific example. We're going to look at how much it's gone up and the potential it may have on all miners, right? Because this is something that's going to affect all miners if this little pump sustains, right? So we're going to go over that example, look at prices, etc., etc. So if that sounds good, guys, stay tuned. Alright guys, so today's example is going to be specific to the K7, but in reality it's going to pertain to every single miner. Reason being is that the price of the miner is directly correlated with the price of the asset and vice versa. So as the price goes up, the miner is going to go up, especially if it sustains this price range, which is one big thing we got to look at, right? I personally thought we're going to have that increase. People were going to take profits. We're going to see a much more significant downtrend, but it did go down a little bit, went right back up, and then so far it's been sustaining, right? And that's pretty good considering, yes, we have had some good news with the CPI print, but considering all this DCG Genesis stuff still going on, this is looking pretty good, right? So let's look at the chart real quick so we can see back even just last week, we're in the 0.0023 range, hovering, and then bam, had that nice little run up. Started with 0.0026, which was decent. People took profits. We went sideways a little bit, and then another really nice big pump, right? Back up to this 0.003233 range, and so far it's been holding this range, right? Which is really, really good, right? Whether or not it's going to sustain it for a good while, we don't know yet, but so far it's been quite a few days and we've been holding that range. And so it's not quite back yet to the pre-FTX fiasco, but it's pretty darn close. So there's a good possibility we may go up a little bit more and may go back into the range that it previously was, right? Which is good, right? If you're into CKB, especially if you guys buy any of these dips down here, which congratulations to you if you did. But the biggest factor that it's going to affect for us as miners is the cost of the miner, right? So now obviously price increased a good chunk. It's been going up. So what's going to happen? The profitability is going to go up. Okay, on ASIC miner value at a, what is it? Defaulted at 12 cent. We'll put it down to 10 cent kilowatt hour. Daily profit's going to be about 30 bucks, right? So a nice little increase from what it was. We're going to double check on DX pool. And on theirs, same thing, 10 cent kilowatt hour. It's about $30. So it's finally somewhat accurate on ASIC miner value, which has been flip-flopping like crazy, but we're just confirming it there, and give or take it is about the same. So it looks pretty good. But again, guys, like I mentioned in the other video, it's going to change significantly just depending on how many come up. But this is just for you to get a ballpark as to what it is, as to what kind of price increase that would give you. Right? So now a lot of the places actually did start increasing their price for this guy. Right? Even just a couple days ago, right? These were the prices. Unfortunately, now as you click on them, it is all significantly different, right? So the cheapest one being on ASIC miner value from Cool Dragon is listed at $46.49. You click on it now, it is now $59.99, right? So it's up to $6,000. And this pretty much went down the board. I went down through a good chunk of them. It went up pretty much everywhere. So even like BT miners, for example, was $47.49. I think it was $47.99. And today, look at this thing, $6,500, right? Just off of this pump. Okay, same thing now. Viperatech, $64.50. Okay, they were $4,900. ASIC Marketplace, which is one of the few who's actually still pretty much at that price. So if you're thinking of getting one and you're pretty confident that the price is going to sustain, then you might want to look at those that still haven't changed their price, right? From just clicking on the first few, ASIC Marketplace was one. Miner Bros was another one who I think was still in that range. Yeah, $49.99. Never purchased from these, but again, do your research. I know with Miner Bros though, they have a thing with RPM, Red Panda Mining. So gives more credibility there. But again, look at reviews, look at your things, look at the price points, if it's something you're interested in. But just keep in mind, guys, that if this rally does not sustain, right, we go back down to previous levels. Let's say something happens with Genesis or Gemini goes down or whatever. There's a lot of stuff that still can go wrong, right? We're still pretty early in this bear market, right? So if you think it may go down, the prices of the miners will go down. But if you're more in the camp that it may sustain, which it potentially could because it's almost back at that previous level, right? Then prices may stay where they're at. Okay. My personal recommendation, what I would do if I was in your shoes and you wanted to get one and you couldn't order from these two guys or they increased their price by the time you go order, I would probably just wait for the release. Okay. Because again, these prices, this like 6,500, 6,000 is based on the assumption that this is going to be what you're really getting a day. Right. But as we know, that's not what it's going to be. Okay. So as that changes, right, as the profitability goes down, the price will also go down. Okay. So just keep that in mind. But there's a lot of factors though, because we don't know how big this initial batch is. We don't know how many more batches are going to be. Is it just going to be this one batch? We don't know, right? So there's a ton of factors, ton of variables you got to consider. But at this point, realistically, I wouldn't pay that much over MSRP. At that point, the risk has just gone up significantly, right? Because again, we don't know what the profitability really is going to be until we know how many get released. And at this point, being just probably a few weeks away from release, I would just wait it out. Especially instead of paying these like $6,000, $6,000 prices. Way too high. Okay? The reason I say this pertains to all of them is because it does, right? Because as Bitcoin goes up, guess what? Those S19XPs that we want to go down are also going to increase. Okay? If you're into Cadena, if that has a big pump, we're going to see an even bigger increase. Those are already inflated. Those have been almost twice MSRP since pretty much they released, right? So you really, really got to factor in if you've been thinking about it. Look at the price, guys. Do your research, and it's kind of just dependent on what you really think, what you really believe is going to happen. Whether we already bottomed, whether we're going to sustain this rally, like if this is going to be the new range where we're going to be at, if we're going to be from like, 18 to 19.5, then chances are this may be the low for the prices, right? Again, we're only a year and a half away from the halving. So you really, really got to factor that in. Realistically, again, like I've mentioned before, been mulling over that XP, but it does not look like it's going to happen. Based off of that other video, that research we did, I don't think another big release is going to come out this year, right? I don't think anything's going to really significantly drop that price. Okay? If anything, it looks like they may be increasing. To me, realistically, I think it's going to stay in that same range. But time will tell, guys. Again, this is things you got to research, you got to think about. I know I'm still on the fence. Again, I was thinking about that XP, but I don't think it's going to happen. I might just roll the dice and freaking get the stupid HS3, even though it goes against everything that makes sense, just for the degen factor, right? I'll probably make a video about the mindset about that one, but right now that's what it's looking like, right? Because even the XP has gone up a little bit. Let me see if I pulled up a window or not. Yes, so like from BT miners, it was $4,300. They raised it to almost 4,700, 4,669. So again, if that price goes up another 10%, you can see the price of this thing go up another 10%, right? But again, it's all on you. It's all on what you think is going to happen. If you think we've bottomed, if you think something else is going to happen, because that's what the biggest factor of all this, right? So again, just something to think about, guys. For those of you researching prices, I've been watching them like a hawk because I've been really want to make this last decision just so that way I can like have my budget in place and have everything set up and try to figure out this cooling situation, because it all sounds good now, but might be regretting my decision here come the summer. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, just wanted to give you that quick little update. Hopefully you got some value from the video, guys. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Comment if you're thinking about getting one, right? If you missed out, if you pre-ordered one, where you got it from, let me know. Or if you're thinking about getting any other ASICs or if you're holding off, right? So let me know in the comments, guys. So again, thank you for watching, and I am out.